Logan's Slack profile pic we had a whole conversation about, and at the end I was like too embarrassed to admit, I'm like, I still don't follow who this is.
In all fairness, that is obscure to everybody.
It's Alvin Kamara in a Tennessee uniform. It's a niche reference. I am Logan Bartlett, a partner at Redpoint Ventures. I am here today with Jennifer Smith, co-founder and CEO of Scribe, as well as my partner at Redpoint, Jacob Efron. Thank you guys so much for joining today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Scribe's one of our newest investments, a part of the Redpoint portfolio. So Jennifer, I would love for you to explain both what Scribe does, and then we'll talk a little bit about why we were so excited to invest in the company.
So Scribe is AI-powered software that will watch you do any process on your computer and automatically create step-by-step documentation that you can use to show anyone how to do that process.
When we were thinking about the investment, it took a little bit of time for it to set in, but any part of work, or I guess knowledge work, requires you to disseminate information that exists in your head or your colleague's head and share it out to other employees, to customers, to partners, among anyone. And so Scribe provides such an elegant solution that allows you to do this that it just kind of made sense to us.
In some ways, I feel like we're solving a problem that was hiding in plain sight. Because if you talk to anybody who runs any team and you say exactly what you just said, hey, does your team have institutional know-how in their heads about how to create value at your company? Well, yes, of course. It's almost the definition of my people and what they do, right? Is it hard for you to share that information from your best people to everybody else? Well, yes, of course. And if you go and sit on any kind of floor of people working together in person and you watch for 5 minutes, you'll see someone pop up out of their chair, walk over to somebody else, tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, can you show me how to do this thing over here? I think people just assume that's the cost of doing business. And so the whole idea behind Scribe was, well, it doesn't have to be.
I was going to say, I think that user love was so abundantly clear in all the customer work we did. And that kind of expansion motion where, maybe first you start with the learning and development team, they discover it, they really like it. Then they pass it on to the sales team, and then folks realize hey, this might be really helpful for customer training. It's just this ubiquity of use cases that I think is so cool about Scribe. Is there a favorite example you have of how someone's using Scribe today?
We see everything from literally your local plumber who has to create documentation for, their plumbing workforce on how to log their hours in their billing system, to organizations I saw Scribe the other day that was how to enroll for the Miss Arkansas pageant. So really you see processes show up everywhere.
Well, sometimes people make the venture capital job seem overly complex. There are times that it is, I guess, but other times there are situations in which a product is loved by customers and growing virally on its own with a fantastic team and roadmap vision for what the company can become. And so in those situations, I think our job is not to overthink it and just say yes and help turn that company into its fullest potential. And so we're super excited for the journey to come and lucky to be a small part of the Scribe story.